Everyone would like to travel with all the gadgets that you normally would use at home, but not everybody likes to lug around all the chargers and the cables to keep them charged up. So how would you like to replace all the chargers and the cables that you need from this mess to this elegant, simple solution that will fit into a small pouch? The upfront summary today is that you need a very small device here known as the Zeera Megsafe. Yes, it looks like the Apple MagSafe Duo, but it is much cheaper and it charges 3 of your mobile devices all at once, including your phone, your Apple Watch, and the AirPods Pro. Using USB-C instead of the Apple MagSafe Duo, charging only 2 devices, and it still uses your Lightning cable. Now you can say that the Apple Watch is troublesome to bring along on a trip because it requires charging every day. I have the Apple Watch Ultra here, and even though it charges maybe every 2 days, it still is frequent charging. And the worst part of it, it uses a proprietary charging plug right here, but it is no longer a simple timepiece that I can do without. Let's try this. Hey Sonos, what is the time now?
It is 11:14 a.m.
Hey Sonos, what date is it? It won't answer because it doesn't tell the date. It tells the time, but not the date. I wonder why. Now, 20 years ago, if you told anyone that your speaker could tell you the time, they'll probably send you off to the institution. 20 years ago, people wore a watch to tell time. Today, time telling is no longer limited to the watch. Even my microwave oven tells me the time. Now, I've been using an Apple Watch since the first generation came out in 2015. Now, prior to owning an Apple Watch, the last watch that I've ever worn was before 1996. Now, when I first started using a pager, I found that I had no use for a watch anymore. The singular purpose of wearing a watch back then was to tell the time. And since the pager had a clock built in, I no longer needed wearing a watch. Then the mobile phone came about, and that too had a clock built in. Now, if I'm ever caught without a phone or a watch, I can always refer to the microwave oven. So in the 20 years in between, I never saw any practical, pragmatic reason to ever wear a watch. I've always had my phone with me. But I bought the Apple Watch anyway, as I saw it as a way to help reduce the number of times I refer to the phone, as well as having notifications mirrored on the watch from the phone. Now, more importantly, over the next few years, Apple Pay became very prevalent, and today I can't live without the Apple Watch, as it gave me a way to make payment instantly without having to fish out the phone from the pocket and unlocking it. But one of the issues has always been the need to bring a specific charger to charge the Apple Watch when I travel. Now, in fact, almost all Apple Watches that I've used require daily charging every single day. Even with the Ultra, with an extended battery life, it was at best charging every other day. And from the first generation of the Apple Watch till today, the same charging plug has been used, save for a migration to USB-C connector on the other end and some faster charging. It has largely remained the same. The shape is still the same. In fact, the Apple Watch didn't even differ much in terms of design over the years. So even if I'm traveling light, I still had to bring this proprietary charging cable along, and together with the Lightning cable for the phone, and there was at least 2 cables then. And no, even with the wireless charging plug that you can use for the iPhone here, you can't charge the Apple Watch with this plug. And to make matters worse, you probably need to bring another Lightning cable if you wanted to charge the AirPods Pro. Yeah, granted, the previous one, it could not actually charge using the watch charge, this watch charger charging plug. The AirPods Pro 2 actually allows the charging using the same charging plug for the Apple Watch. And so my wife was going away on a trip recently and was checking through her luggage to make sure that she's got everything that she needed to keep all her devices powered. Well, she's one of those who can't tell the difference between a USB-A and USB-C. Never mind the micro B and the mini B, and which power adapter was good enough for the laptop or for the phone or for this AirPods Pro. I counted a total of about 4 power adapters, and 7 cables. Now, these are the devices that she needed to bring along. She needed to bring along her MacBook. She needed to bring along an iPad Air for, watching whatever she wanted to watch at night in the hotel room. And she obviously needed the iPhone and the Apple Watch, as well as her AirPods Pro. And she wanted to bring along the Sonos Roam portable speaker, right? Because she's not used to staying alone in her room, so she needed some music to keep her company. Well, she had also an universal adapter, travel adapter, and she took a multi-outlet adapter with her because she had 4 chargers to keep charged up. Until I introduced to her the latest gadget that was sent my way. This is the Zeera Megsafe. Quite similar to the Megsafe Duo made by Apple, except that this would have been called the Megsafe Trio because there are 3 charging pads altogether on this pad here. Now, one of them will be for the iPhone. This is wireless charging with magnetic Megsafe included. And another is for the Apple Watch here, which will also charge the Apple AirPods Pro 2, as that's how compatible it is now with the Apple Watch charger. And the last being a T wireless charging pad, which charges the AirPods Pro 2, right? If you need to charge your watch. Now with this, it means that there's no longer a need to bring the whole Apple Watch charging plug along. In fact, there isn't even the need to bring along a lightning cable anymore because unlike the Apple MagSafe Dual charger, this input port on the TriFold charger here, it uses a USB-C port. So if you run through the entire packing list, there's no longer a need to bring along a lightning cable anymore. Everything could be standardized to the USB-C cable. And with one USB-C cable, she was going to be able to charge all 3 devices at once. And she could even charge the Sonos Roam portable speaker wirelessly if she wasn't charging the iPhone or the AirPods Pro, because these 2 pads are actually compatible with the Sonos Roam speaker right here. And because of the travel adapter that I have provided her here, the Zendio Passport 3 adapter, she was going to have another 4 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port. In fact, she didn't even have to bring her MacBook Pro charger along anymore because this PD port right here, it actually supports up to 65 watts. So all you needed was probably 1 standardized USB-C cable, or maybe 2 USB-C cable if you wanted to charge your MacBook as well as power this up at the same time. So from the whole mess of all different cables, USB-C, Lightning, and Apple Watch charging plug, it was all cut down to a standardized USB-C charging cable. I passed her in fact 3 to bring along, so she'll never run short of charging options because there are so many ports on the Zendio Passport 3 anyway. Now, standardization and versatility aside, one of the most important aspects of this solution is reliability. Now, I have tested chargers before on this channel and I test them pretty extensively. Now, the Zeera Megsafe advertises a 15-watt charging pad for the iPhone, which is this one here, and there's an Apple Watch charging dock and another 5 watts charging pad for the AirPods Pro. Do they charge up to full speed? Well, with the iPhone 13 Pro, it charges at up to over 11 watts. But you have to bear in mind that this, as with the original MagSafe charging plug from Apple, which is this one right here, that doesn't charge up to a full 15 watts anyway. Yes, sometimes it does move to 15 watts. But in comparison, this is definitely not a lot slower, even if it doesn't charge up to the full 15 watts as advertised. The magnets aren't actually as strong as I want them to be, and if you look at the Megsafe, it can actually be folded up into a triangular pyramid shape, and it can use it as a stand for the iPhone. With the slightly weaker magnets, you just have to note that it won't hold up the iPhone as well if you wanted to move it around without care. The Apple Watch charging dock can actually be folded up so that if you're using one of those bands like this Lynx band from Apple, it cannot be opened up and laid out flat. So you can bring it up right here. Even the solo band, you can't actually extend it out. You can still use this and the bedside charging dock, if you put it by the side, it will show the clock. And as I mentioned, this also charges the new AirPods Pro 2. And the dock on the right, it actually charges the AirPods Pro 2 well enough. The AirPods Pro 2 now sounds off a tone when it's placed to charge, but the LED light on the MagFold dock itself, it actually lights up when and turns from red to blue when charging, so that you will know that it is still charging, which is a very useful visual indicator. Now, does the dock charge all three devices at once? Yes, it does, and it draws a total of about 12 watts when charging all three at once. And that is in the video that I'm showing you. But with what I didn't capture on video, that it actually drew up to 16 watts at times. Now, I have to say that the fastest way to charge all your devices is to use the individual ports and the chargers and the cables that comes with the device. But even with that, you are looking at just about 20 watts total thereabout. So that's only about maybe 20% faster, 25% faster, but you're losing about 3 ports and you have to lug around 3 cables and 3 chargers. Not to mention that the other USB-C cables that you need to lug around for your other devices, you still have to bring them along. So for the convenience, I will say that I'll gladly sacrifice about this 20% charging speed. In any case, there will be downtime during the day or when you're sleeping, where you can leave all the devices to charge on their own, even if they are slower. Now, Zeera also sells the high quality braided cable. This is a high quality one, and I've tested it with the MacBook Pro 16-inch, and it charges up to close to 100 watts. So it should handle anything that you can possibly throw at it. Not to mention that it has a very generous length of about 2 meters up to 6.6 feet. So you can really locate the MagFold anywhere you want in the room, even if it is far away from the wall charger. Now, they have also sent a clear MagSafe compatible case for my iPhone 13 Pro, and that has magnets built in. So it will be compatible with your original charging port, as well as help the phone hold up a little bit better to the MagFold charging station, should you decide to use it as a stand in a triangular form. And to round it off, I'd like to demonstrate the high level of compatibility of the MagSafe charger. Now, this is the Sonos Roam, which has a Qi compatible charging base. So for wireless charging, it charges from the MagFold as well. And this is the AA Gemini, and the MagFold will actually charge this as well on either the left or the right charging pad. So even if you are not using all Apple devices, this still proves to be a very versatile solution. And if you are using all the Apple devices, this proves to be one of the best solutions out there. I will be placing the links in the video description down below. And as the saying goes, happy wife, happy life. And if you need to know more about the Zendio Passport 3 charger, do head over to this video right here where I have previously reviewed that charger. Now together, they will make for a very versatile combination for all your travels, while taking up very little space in your precious luggage or carry-on bag. And I will see you over in that video.